Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Soldat 2. And Soldat 2 is a sequel to the super popular 2D shooting game that originally came out in 2002, Soldat, that was heavily influenced from games like Counter-Strike, Quake, and Worms, and when the original game got added to Steam earlier this year, I decided to make a 2020 version of a review for it, but now the sequel just got released in early access, so I decided to give it a shot. And the developer of Soldat 2 actually gave me a review copy of the game in order to make a review for you guys, so just like letting you guys know to stay as transparent as possible, and they gave me 4 free copies of the game in order to give away to you guys. So stay tuned until the end of the video for details on how you can win an early access copy of Soldat 2. So in Soldat 2, you play as these characters that have a ton of movement between like bunny hopping, using jetpacks, flying like Superman, ragdolling, rolling, and you kill enemies with a decent selection of weapons. There's shotguns, snipers, miniguns, grenade launchers, AKs, Uzis, and more, and every time you die, you can switch weapons. And so there's a couple different game modes, but the main game mode I was able to find games for was one where there were several control points that the two teams were fighting for, and it allowed a lot of action to take place in certain areas because everyone was obviously fighting over those areas. And one thing I want to say is I'm showing you off some of the best moments I had in the game so far, but you know, there were people that were way better than me. So if you're a veteran of Soldat, my gameplay is probably a little bit embarrassing, but whatever, we all can't be amazing at every game. So overall, the core gameplay is a little weird at first, but once you get a decent grasp on how the movement and guns work, it's actually pretty fun. And obviously, if you played the original Soldat, it plays very similar to that game, just kind of with some added mechanics and, you know, a little different weapon selection. And it is super satisfying to get a bunch of kills in a row with various weapons, and being able to switch out your weapon constantly whenever you die makes you keep wanting to experiment. So, you know, say if you're fighting over a base in a middle of a canyon, it also might make you want to switch to like the grenade launcher to just fire down and get a bunch of kills. And if you see, you know, enemies that are getting a bunch of kills with certain weapons, it kind of makes you want to, you know, switch to that weapon and try it out. You know, if someone's getting a bunch of kills with a sniper, it kind of makes you want to be like, you know what, I want to try this sniper. And, you know, obviously depending on what map you're on, different weapons are better, you know, for, you know, different maps and different parts of the map and everything. So you're constantly switching weapons, and I really like that. And so overall the game is pretty solid, but my biggest complaint with the game right now after playing it for a little bit is it's kind of rough around the edges. There are several glitches and bugs that definitely hindered my experience playing around, and I will cut it some slack because it did just launch in early access, but I still want to address them. First off, I'm pretty sure it's probably because I still don't have the movement system mastered, but my character would get stuck on parts of the environment, especially in the bases, which tended to be a little bit annoying. Another thing is sometimes there would just be random parts of the map that if you went to would just like instantly kill you, and I'm not talking about like areas that you're not supposed to go to. It could just be random places right next to the spawn, and that was extremely frustrating. On top of that, the UI to switch weapons was very inconsistent, you know, if it wanted to pop up or not. You know, sometimes I would press the button to pull the weapon menu up when I was dead, and it just would never pop up. And then there would be some times where it would pop up even when I didn't press anything, and there would be times like where it would pop up and like it would instantly go away and I couldn't bring it back up again. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but either way, you know, if I am doing something wrong, it shouldn't be that difficult, you know. And lastly, if you're going to pick this game up, just be really careful when first opening up the game. You know, the game just blasted my eardrums with super loud heavy metal music, and from reading some of the reviews on Steam, I'm not the only person it did that to. So I got tinnitus, so you don't have to. So if you end up picking up this game, just, you know, take the headphones off, open the game, let it blast music, lower the volume, and, you know, have fun with the game. And I gotta say, it is a little annoying that, you know, games are still doing this thing where they just blast music really loudly at the beginning, but, you know, that'll probably get fixed just in case, you know, take the headphones off before you open up the game. But overall, the game definitely has its issues, obviously, like I just, talked about, but it has really good core gameplay, especially since it's very close to the original game that a lot of people liked. It just has now kind of a lot better looking fresh coat of paint and some new features. And also the game's going to have a lot of modding and custom level tools, which will always help the community. So I would say if you're a fan of the original Soldat, or just this game looks like a ton of fun, I would recommend getting it because there is a lot of fun to have, even if it's just, at the very least a couple of hours of messing around. Otherwise, I might just wait a little bit until it gets a couple of updates and early access, or even just maybe fully launching. As of right now, there's normally like 40 people playing, which is enough to have a server or two full, but I imagine when the game actually launches, that number will increase, hopefully. And so if you are still watching at this point, and assuming you're watching this video in the first day of it being released, I have some copies of Soldat 2 to give away. So since YouTube has recently been not loving certain giveaways on their platform, I'm going to be giving away 4 copies of Soldat 2 that the devs gave me on Twitter. So if you click the link in the description or in the comments and like and retweet that tweet along with following me after 24 hours, I will pick 4 winners, and if they DM me within a day, I will send them over a copy of the game. So if you want a chance to win, definitely check the link in the description or comments. And if you guys have played Soldat 2 or the original Soldat, or just from watching gameplay, I would love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I love talking with you all. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make about 2 to 3 video reviews a week on a wide variety of games, so subscribe and ring that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say to see those in the future. And if you guys are going to be grinding out some games of Soldat 2, I wish you luck and see you guys next time.